What's going on, everybody? Colin Myers with Essential Lawn Services. We are here on this cold, blistery day. It is November 16th, and we are going to show you the salt shed we just built. Super simple design. We're all about making things really easy around here. I'm not trying to build the best. I'm just trying to build something that's usable. So let's get to it. Okay guys, there it is, the salt shed. I'm gonna go into exactly how I made it, how it worked for us, how I came up with it. I actually got the idea from somebody else. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and we're gonna show you what it looks like. Okay, so here it is. If you're wondering the size, this is about 12 feet wide and 16 inches or 16 feet deep. And really it is super simple. We made this entire thing, honestly, I think less than $1,500. I know some of the parts we just kind of had laying around. I tried to factor in just what certain prices would cost, but it was about $1,500 we built this shed, and that's with the concrete. So I'm going to go over exactly the design that we have. So we started with the concrete. We just poured a simple 12 foot by 16 foot pad. I put the rough texture on it because I didn't want to lose grip on my tractor tires or slip. I felt like if I had a smooth surface, it could be quite slippery for the tractor tires. And where we are and where we rent, when we leave, I don't want to leave a slippery surface because everything here is removable except for the concrete, obviously. But everything is going to be, I didn't want to leave a surface that was going to be slippery for anyone to use when we leave or if we leave. But so just regular concrete, nothing special about it. Didn't do any high pressure or anything like that. We put a sealer on it, so we sealed it up really good for the salt so it doesn't eat it away. Now, I know I'm going to get some backlash. Yes, salt does eat concrete. But you know what? This was just the best case scenario for us. And we didn't really have means of paving, but we had means of laying concrete ourselves. So that's what we chose to do. So when we pour the concrete, we get down here, we had brackets, and we put bolts in the brackets or in the concrete. We spaced them out so that way when we wanted to put these metal things on, we had something to bolt them to. And when we, like I said, everything's removable. So when we remove this, we're just gonna plan to cut the bolts flush with the concrete, and it's just a flat surface. So then we just got ourselves some 8-foot 4x4s. We chose to put 5, spaced them out evenly, and then we got plywood going to on the inside all the way around. And then we actually got some cross members. This was just random lumber that we had laying around to give everything some rigidity, some support. We already had the concrete wall in the back to push against. We put some plywood there just to give the salt some protection against the wall so we didn't have too much corrosion on the block wall. But then we got, the arches. And this is the coolest part, I think, is that it's so simple to make and it works. Yesterday, we just had probably about 50-mile-an-hour gust winds, and this thing is still standing. So if that tells you anything. But so the arches are made out of electrical conduit, Schedule 40 PVC. We use 3/4 inch, and really we just took 2 pieces, bent them in an arch, and we got some brackets, which I don't think we have any showing. But we got some brackets and we just arched them. Now you're probably wondering and thinking to yourself, why on earth are those things all bent out of shape? Well, I will tell you that in a second. So the material we used for the roof is actually boat shrink wrap. And now you're probably figuring out, oh, that's why. Yep, you guessed it. When we heated up the shrink wrap to shrink it, it started bending the conduit. So that's why some of these actually are doubled up and even the double up ones. We were trying to shrink everything the best we can. If I did it over again, I would probably shrink from the outside somehow. But in all honesty, like if you just be careful, don't put too much heat in one place too long, you'll be fine. Really, it's more you have to be quick with it and not just let the heat sit up there, because heat rises. So all the heat's sitting up there. But it definitely, I would have done it a little bit differently, but it's all right. And another thing I would have done too, if you can tell, we put these cross members right here on top of the arches. I wish I would have put them underneath, because it's kind of creating a stopping point on the roof, and we still might change that, but we haven't yet. I do like the cross member up top. And the way we connected all the cross members was just really simple. Drill a hole through, which I actually drilled into my finger when I was doing. Be careful of that. But drill a hole through both of them, put a zip tie it closed. Make sure they're just the cold zip ties, the ones that are good for like negative 40 degrees or whatever. Get some of those and just zip tie it. We screwed with brackets, just little C brackets onto the wood, and just use regular screws. Nothing special. And that was pretty much it. All right, guys, so we got the salt in now, and I want to come out here and show you real quick exactly what it looks like in here. There it is. Now, there are a couple things I would change. All right, so the salt's in here now, and there's a couple things I would change with the salt shed. I wish I would have brought the concrete out farther. In the earlier video, you'll see it stops pretty much flush with there. We couldn't get the dump truck fully in there, so we had to dump it in front of the salt shed, and we ended up wasting quite a bit of salt. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but more salt than I really wanted to. But that's really the only design flaw I see. Maybe a hair bigger. This is 22 ton of salt right here. That's what we get delivered at a time. It is snowing right now, so looking to see. It looks like snow is coming off there pretty good. We can't really see. It looks like we might have a little bit of buildup up there, but we're going to keep an eye on that. Like I said, I wish earlier, I wish I would have taken these supports and put them underneath rather on top of the arches. But that's what it's looking like right now. So guys, there's our salt shed. It's super simple, super easy to make. $1,500. I mean, I've seen guys do it with the concrete blocks on the side where you get the huge concrete, and it's like you stack them and it's like a retaining wall. But for us, that just didn't make sense. We didn't have the equipment to move it. We didn't have really, those are expensive to make. So all of a sudden done, like this really just works. It's really easy, and anybody can do it as long as you have simple carpentry skills, and you can get the lumber and all that. I mean, you can make it real quick. But guys, subscribe to the channel. That'd be huge. Hit the notification button. We're looking to grow our channel, just give people real life experience, find the easier way to do things, a little bit cheaper way to do things, and just make everybody's business and life better. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and keep an eye out for our videos.